What's going on? Welcome to Totally Blitz Podcast. We're about to talk UFC Austin, break down the card, talk the fights with you. And as always, go down, like, and subscribe. Comment your picks for UFC Austin. Give us the bets, the parlays. We want to hear all of that. I'm Paul. Pick a winner. I'm pouring up my shot. And who's with me?
You already know, man. It's your boy Kev. Water boy, some boy. And you know I had to bring out the the Christmas sweater, you feel me? Nice and ugly for him. But was it too early? Is it too early
Nah,
for
I
Christmas?
would say the card will be December 2nd. It'll be this. I mean, technically, it'll be the first card of the December. So I mean, it's only right to start getting festive.
That's what I'm saying. So that's how I'm coming with it. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas over here, you feel me?
Shit, I know I walked outside today and it felt a lot like Christmas. It was cold as shit.
Cold as fuck. And you know, we from Florida, you feel me? This is not okay, America people.
Yeah, but Austin, I don't know what the degrees will be, but it won't matter. We got a heater of a fucking UFC Austin card. Beneil Dariush versus Armin Tsarukyan, main eventing. Co-main event was Dan Hooker, Bobby Green, but Dan Hooker had to pull out. The guy he fought in his last fight, the Jalen Turner versus Dan Hooker war split decision fight. That was a great fight. Well, Jalen Turner says, "Fuck it, my boy Dan can't make it. I'll pull up." So he's fighting Bobby Green in the co-main event. We got Rob Font uh, welcoming Davison Figueiredo, former flyweight champ, into the bantamweights. First fight at bantamweight is gonna be Rob Font, and then Sean Brady, Kelvin Gastelum, got Clay Guda on the undercard, Misha Tate on the undercard. You got a nice little stacked UFC Austin card.
Nah, for real. I was low key thinking that this week was 296. So I thought I was gonna be hurt that it wasn't. Nah, but then he started dropping the names, and I'm like, whoa, Austin's about to be a banger. What fight do you want to talk first?
Let's start off the first fight on the main card now. Well, it was the opening main card fight. Sean Brady, Kelvin Gastelum. I mean, we saw Sean Brady once last year against Belal Muhammad, gets his head boxed off, and then Kelvin Gastelum. We saw him first fight back, and he goes up against Curtis in Miami. We
Oh
watched.
yeah, we was there for that. I was about to say, I remember his
He
he
has risen.
he snapped in the speech. I was like, okay, I see.
But I mean, that was his first fight in 2 years. So we didn't. And it's Sean Brady, same thing. It was his first fight in like 2 years, going up against Belal Muhammad, and he got his head boxed off. One looking good in his first fight back, the other one didn't look too good. Both of their second fight back at welterweight. It is a pick 'em. Gastelum plus 100, Sean Brady minus 120. Right down the middle right now. Which way you swinging here?
I mean, maybe it's because I'm biased. Kelvin is quite close to Kevin. So motherfucking, I
One
might
L.
be, yeah, I might be one bias, but the letter that is the difference is an L. It'd be different if his name was like Kev Win. Like I'd be like, oh, okay, this guy I could trust. But Kelvin, like that's an L. I'm not always positive about it. But he did look great in his first fight back. I think his first fight, I picked Curtis last time because I wasn't expecting him to be on point. I wasn't expecting him to throw the heavy ass hands he was throwing, and I forgot the chin that he has. So this is why I'm probably going to be leaning a little bit more towards Gastelum. But I don't think Brady's a slouch even slightly.
It is at welterweight. Gastelum is a middleweight fighter moving down to the 170s. I want to see how he looks on the whenever they do the weight cut, the weigh-ins and everything. Shit, I mean, he was always kind of like the short, chubby kind of guy. So
Yeah,
him going down kind of makes sense. He can lean out. I mean, he is only 5'9". He's actually shorter than Sean Brady. So it might be better for him to be in a division where he actually has the same reach and height as most of the people in there. But it is always bad to see like an old. I mean, he's not super old, only 32, but like he's had some fight. He had some L's, like some bad losses where a lot of damage. Like he has some miles on the tank. And for
but don't ever forget his fight against Izzy.
war, bro, you would have thought like they give me that fight again, run it back type shit. Like, but I don't like him going down in weight. Kind of scares me because like you don't really see 30 plus year olds cutting weight and going to a different weight class and like succeeding. But maybe
Uh,
it's time for a new look for him. We saw Paul Craig move weight classes earlier this year, and he's done great since he's moved. But I got Sean Brady in this fight. Just Khalil Muhammad won wrestling as motherfucker. So Sean Brady's one thing is he wrestles like a motherfucker himself, but he knew going against Khalil that shit was gonna counteract. So it was kind of like I got a box with him. Leotas has better hands. No one would have guessed it. So I think against Kelvin Gastelum, even though Gastelum probably will be the bigger guy since he's moving down in weight, I think Brady still is going to be able to get it to the mat, get the ugly control time, and just win a rugged decision.
Now I can respect that to the fullest, and I did. I didn't pencil that in when I made my decision, but I'm gonna stand by it. I like Gaslam in this one, but I like this to be a good fight.
And then from one pick'em to another pick'em,
Wow.
this is Rob Font versus Davison Figueiredo, longtime flyweight champ, God of War. No one could stop this man. Now he's up at bantamweight. He was always known as a weight bully. So he's now in a weight class that actually suits him. He won't have to struggle to make weight. But Rob Font, I mean, yeah, he's coming off a loss, but I mean, we saw what he did to Adrian Yanez. Like, fucking send him to the shadow round. Like, Rob Font taking a loss to Sandhagen, where Sandhagen just mauled him and stood on top of him for 5 rounds with one shoulder.
I was there for that.
And Nashville, yeah, Kev was there for that fight, but we haven't seen Figgy at this weight class. I mean, back-to-back fights where we got a long-time fighter moving weight classes.
That's interesting that I was there for back for the last two fighters. I can't wait to hear the third fight we covered. What if I was there for that one too?
That's true. You was at both Rob Font's last 2 fights. Kev was in attendance for.
Man, that's crazy. I should have pulled up to Austin. And I actually like Austin. I've been to Austin before. That's the only place in Texas I've been to.
Low key.
So I'm a Rob. Maybe that's why I'm picking Rob Font in this fight. I'm low key a Rob Font fan. I go to all the Rob Font fights. But that's funny. Remember Miami? This was the fight I missed because I went to go buy a shirt because my brother.
Yeah.
And this fight only took like 2 seconds. I was like, it's crazy. So I'm taking Rob Font. One of my favorite things about Rob Font was that he's pretty tough. He's pretty durable. And, I mean, he's not a wrestling-ass motherfucker at all, is what I learned in the Sandhagen fight. But in the Cheeto fight, in the Adrian Yanez fight, I just feel like he's always just going to be throwing hands. And if he can just stay on his feet and throw hands, he's always going to look comfortable in a fight with somebody. So I'm probably going to lean towards Robbie on this one. But how are you coming?
See, I kind of see that too. Like, as long as Rob's on his feet, and like, is Figgy gonna be able to get him down? Yeah, Figgy has good takedowns and good submissions, but 15 pounds, like he's going like flyweight's 125 and bantamweight's 140. Like, there's a reason why boxing there's a 126, a 130, 135, then a 140. Like at smaller weight classes, like
that's not 135.
Yeah, but 126, 130, 135, 140.
No, I'm saying bantamweight. Isn't bantamweight 135?
Never mind. Yeah, you're right. It's 135. But still, that's a 10-pound jump. That's a 3-division jump in boxing. Like that, and someone broke it down to me. It's like it's all science. Like that's why in boxing, like you go from 175 to 200. Like that's not that big of a jump because you weigh more. It's less percentage of your body weight. But like when you're 130 pounds, moving up 10 pounds is damn near 10% of your body weight.
Yeah.
So like, is his power going to be there? Like this could be a Cheeto Vera Rob Font type of fight where Rob Font's looking good, but then Figgy cracks him because Figgy's got that God of War strength. But does he have God of War strength now at bantamweight? Like those are like it is some serious questions, and for that it's hard for me to pick him, especially at 35 years old, moving up. Like he's no spring chicken, and I'm gonna take the safe pick here. I could be wrong. We could see a Figgy TKO because his power does carry into the next weight class, and we've seen Rob Font's chin get cracked a few times if you have the power to do it. But I'm gonna rock with you at Rob Font here.
Yeah, I think Figgy is not a bad pick. But I look at when Alex Pieta went up, you were thinking like, oh, he's gonna be better in this division. This is his actual division. And then our first fight against Jan, he didn't look the best. It was very close. It was very close. And it looked like he started to get comfortable with it. He looked a little slower a little bit. So that's what I'm expecting from Figgy, just because of how old he is. I don't really see like a Volk situation where you go up and kind of match dude toe for toe in the first fight. I'm kind of seeing I see it more of it going towards Figgy just like trying to feel out and land one of those crazy power punches. And with it only being a 3-round fight, I'm expecting Rob Font to come in with a game plan to just know that I can't get knocked out by this crazy dude's power. I'm not going to go in too crazy. I'm definitely not going to reach. I like Rob on this one.
Yeah, shout out Rob, the man who takes the hard fights. I mean, last 4 fights, Jose Aldo was a loss. Chito Vera, then the up-and-coming prospect, Adrian Yanez, knocks him out. And then Corey Sandhagen, it follows up with the first fight for Figgy in this weight class, former longtime champ. So it's just, a man ain't scared of nothing.
And he wasn't the original because there's another fight that Figgy was supposed to fight for
his first one. Yeah, this was, and it got scrapped. I remember the rumors. I can't remember who it was, but it homie definitely didn't want the smoke after the shit circulated.
Oh yeah, I mean, we'll see how it goes.
Then we got
Rob only takes the hard fight, so respect to that boy.
And then we got our co-main event of the night. Kind of some makeshift co-main event, but I'm not mad with it. Jalen Turner taking on Bobby Green. Jalen Turner, by far the biggest favorite we talked about so far. Minus 225. Bobby Green plus 185. Still not the biggest odds, but people expecting Turner to get the win. Turner is 9 years younger than Bobby Green, 28 to his 37. Turner's 5 inches taller, got a 6-inch reach advantage. Southpaw versus the orthodox, which is Bobby Green. It's like everything on paper is like leaning towards Jalen Turner. But Jalen Turner, I mean, we see that boy. His last fight, Dan Hooker, was supposed to be the co-main event. They had a war. They went back and forth. Dan Hooker's shorter man. Dan Hooker's shorter arm man. That didn't matter in that fight. And Bobby Green's a vet. Bobby Green's awkward. He keeps his hands down low. He doesn't allow you to shoot takedowns. He kind of throws awkward angles. Maybe Jalen Turner hasn't seen that yet and isn't ready for it. I don't know. What do you think?
Oh, man. Shout out Jalen Turner. You know I love people that pick up fights at the last second. You know I love that shit. So, I think this fight is set up to be a fucking banger. I'm not going to lie to you. I really could see some real hands again thrown on this bitch. And I think if this fight is coming out to be exciting and he's coming in with a mindset to go to another war, I like Bobby Green in it. But I think if Jalen Turner controls the pace of this fight and just sets up his shots and lands them, it doesn't have to stress too much grappling or too much wrestling because he's just doing what he has to do on the feet. I can see him doing that. But I don't know. Bobby Green's been on the tear recently.
Bobby Green has been like reinventing himself. Like he's been winning.
Yeah, I'm kind of 50-50 on these fights. But I could see Bobby Green pulling up, not really an upset, but pulling out the win and kind of talking his shit afterwards. But I'm going to take, I don't know. I want to take Jalen Turner, but I can really see myself picking Bobby Green.
Hey, if you take Bobby, you'll take the first dog on the card. I'm taking Jalen Turner here, and I'm going by knockout. I think Jalen Turner's he's just younger. He's in his prime. He's long. He's got power. And Bobby Green keeps his hands down low to like throw awkward shots, but that also allows him to get caught. He relies a lot on head movement. And by like the second round, I feel like he's not going to have the same like quickness to himself that he did in the first round. And then a couple of those big shots are going to land. And then like Turner likes to throw those like elbows on the inside. I could definitely see an elbow be the thing that like hurts Bobby Green. And then Turner gets on top and just finishes it. I like Turner here, and I like the finish here.
Okay, I can respect that. I think I want to take Turner, but I'm going to take Bobby Green. That's my dog.
And then our main event. This one, to me, is the hard one to pick. Odds are just about the same for this fight. But Neil Dariush, plus 225. Arman Tsarukyan, minus 275 here. Dariush coming off the L to Oliveira, where he kind of got put in his place. And then Arman Tsarukyan, I mean, he has that one loss to Islam, not a bad loss of like 5 years later. But then the other loss to Gamrot, which is a very controversial
Still
decision.
think he won.
But outside of that, he's walked through everybody. 3 finishes in his last 5 fights. And it's done. And even the ones he hasn't finished, it's just him mauling people from top position, and there's nothing they can do about it.
Where's Armin Tsarukyan from?
He is uh from Armenia.
Armenian. You at Khabib. Now I'm playing. But he been fucking shit up, bro. I'm a big Armin Tsarukyan fan. I love watching Armin. His wrestling. My favorite scrambles to this day that I've ever seen was in those fights against in that fight against Gamrot. So many great scrambles for wrestling and everything like that. So I love to see it. As a fan, I got Tsarukyan, but as a analyst, I think I have to give that to Dariush. I think Dariush is well rounded. His fight against Oliveira was just Olives is just him. Like Olive just proved that there's levels to this shit, and you're just not at that level per se. But I'm pretty sure, like I like him to be able to fuck up the rest of the division. So as a fan, I'm gonna be rooting for Tsarukyan, saying, "Yeah, get his ass on me." But like for a pick, I think it would be solid to pick Darius.
Back-to-back dogs for that boy Kev.
Mm.
I'm rocking the big dog myself too. Give me the plus 225. Give me Dariush to get the win. Kev hit on it. He's so well rounded, and I kind of disrespected the guy by saying he got put in his place, but Kev said it a better way than me. There's just levels. There's Islam and Oliveira, and then there's everybody else in the division.
No, I think it's Islam, Oliveira. Then there's like the Justin Gaethje's, Darius's, Dustin Poirier's, and shit like that. Well, I guess Justin Poirier might be down the level, but we'll talk about that another day.
Because even if Oliveira fought Tsarukyan, I think we see a similar result. So like one's coming off of like mauling people, and the other one's coming off a bad loss. So like some people might be feeling scared to pick Dariush, but I think it's time to cash in on the dog. When do you ever see him as a plus 200 dog? And they have a shared opponent in Gamrot. He beat Gamrot, and that shit wasn't questionable. That shit was. He cracked him with a left, dropped him, stuffed, I think, like 18 takedowns in that fight. Tsarukyan is a great wrestler, but this is finally the true test of if you can't take him down, what are you gonna do? Are your hands up to par? Because like him and Gamrot just scrambled for 5 minutes around, like that, like
yeah, shit was crazy,
and it would brawl, just throw like wild shit that would lead into another fucking shoot, and I don't think that's gonna happen with Dariush. Like Dariush is gonna stuff a takedown, make you stand up with him, and then we're gonna really get to see what Tsarukyan's really about.
Now, that's an awesome breakdown. I love the fact that you said if Charles Oliveira fought Tsarukyan, he would be coming off the same thing would have happened. Me personally, I think Tsarukyan would have took him down, and Oliveira would immediately figure out a way to turn it into a sub.
Yeah, but like similar result.
You said what happened?
Similar result. Like you're not getting a win on Ollie, and you're not even seeing judges against Ollie.
No. Nobody fucking with Ollie. So great breakdown, man. But that's how that shit's coming, man. It'd be nice to see Tsarukyan win. He work his way back up higher in the top 5. Maybe fight a Dustin Poirier or Justin Gaethje. But we'll see what happens.
If Tsarukyan wins, I mean, other than Ali, I think he doesn't have to fight Ali probably gets the Islam fight, but he probably gets the fight next just because imagine like they go Abu Dhabi, Tsarukyan versus Islam.
That would be crazy.
Like that, like that's what they're licking their chops just thinking about it right now.
I don't know if you're staying put that long. Niggas, individuals don't like to stay put that long.
Yeah, the people from over there, they just like to fight.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, UFC Austin is gonna be a banger. Last year, if y'all don't know, every fight was a finish in UFC Austin. I think it was the only card to ever do that.
Just main card or main card and prelims?
And prelims.
Wow, that's insane.
Full card finish, and like there's been fight nights to do that, or apexes. I mean, like there's been apex events, but some of those be like 8 fights. Like it'll be like not even a full ass card. This is like a legit card that's everything was finished last year. Maybe they carry the same momentum. I know Austin, the crowd was crazy last year, so hopefully we get the same thing.
Yeah.
And don't forget uh, the Misha Tate sighting, Clay Guda sighting. They're also on the card. They'll be opening up the undercard for this banger of a main card.
My dog Clay Guda in this bitch. Okay.
Yeah, long hair brawler. That's who I style myself after. But go down, like and subscribe. Comment your picks, your bets for the weekend. I'm Paul Pickle Winham. That's Kevin, Street Fight Enthusiast Savoy. And if y'all didn't know, now y'all know, motherfuckers.